Tigers, Manny Reyes. We've got a beautiful night at the ballpark here. Slight breeze blowing in from right field. It's in a westerly direction. Not a few clouds in the sky. Great temperature. Great audience here at the ball game. If you get a chance, come on down. It's not too late to get a seat here at Van Zerk Stadium. But if you're unable to attend, make sure you stay tuned on Tiger Vision of the #1 webcast in the world. We'll be getting underway here momentarily. Don't know too much about Barron Collier. I've heard that from the coaches that they have a very similar record to the Tigers. They're #1 in their district, similar stats to Palmetto. So we're expecting a really good high school baseball game tonight. Coach Glass feels pretty confident going into this one. He likes the way his team has been playing the last few nights. And from what we've seen from our last few telecasts, I have to agree. I think the Tigers have just steadily improved as the season has gone on. And I look for them to play well tonight. And that's
top of the first inning for the Cougars. Shortstop, #5, Matt Lord.
For the Cougars, #5, shortstop Matt Lord will be leading off. Reyes on the mound. And the first pitch is going to be a fastball, and it's going to be hit right up to middle to the second baseman, who makes the out. Well played ball right there.
Stepping to play for the Cougars now, second baseman #23, Marcus O'Malley.
Marcus O'Malley up to bat for the Cougars. And that first ball is going to be a strike, getting Manny ahead in the count 0-1. O'Malley, a lefty. Let's see what Reyes has got in store here. And he's going to throw another fastball. That's going to be out of the strike zone for ball 1. Once again, the dependable Ty Hooks behind the plate, making sure the ball always stays in front. And there's going to be a fastball high and outside to bring it to 2-1 on the count. We'll see if this lefty's got any power here, blowing dead straight from right field. And another fastball just missing the strike zone there. Going to bring it to 3-1. O'Malley looks like he's got a little bit of power. Hopefully we're going to get a nicely thrown ball right there for strike #2, just getting the outside plate. Well-placed pitch by Manny Diaz. And the pitch and the curveball is going to be high. That's going to send O'Malley down on a base on balls for the first base runner of the evening.
Now for Cougars,
and that's going to bring up catcher Johnny Long. Let's see how Manny works with a runner on. From the stretch, he's checking the runner at first. Got a pretty good lead over there. Let's see, we're going to make a throw over to keep him honest. I'm not sure what the book is on Barron Collier, but this time of year, when you're out of district play, you see teams getting aggressive. And that pitch is a curveball that floats in there nicely for strike #1 on Johnny Long. Reyes checking the runner and a lead, but no go. Ty Hooks takes a look, but the runner gets back in time. Once again, Reyes checking the runner. And the pitch, and it's a fastball fouled over to the 17th Street parking lot and just missing the van who drove by. If you're listening out there, be careful on 17th Street. A lot of balls end up in that direction. That brings the count to a ball and 2 strikes on Johnny Long. Reyes throws over to first and just barely misses the throw over. Nicely thrown and executed play, almost picking off the runner at first. Again, a ball and 2 strikes on Johnny Long. Reyes checks the runner. And another throw over. We may have him this time, and he does. Beautifully executed by Manny Reyes and Gunnar Womer. He caught the runner on first base leaning, and as soon as he hesitated, he was lost. And that brings 2 outs. Johnny Long still at bat. And there's a drive down the line and left, and that's going to hit the warning track. And he's rounding first. He's going to have a stand-up double on that one. A nicely hit ball by catcher Johnny Long for Barron Collier. And let's see if we're going to see a pinch runner. Nope. Just getting rid of some gear.
Dylan Doria.
So that's going to bring up left fielder Dylan Doria for the Cougars. 2 outs with catcher Johnny Long in scoring position. Let's see what Manny's got in store for this young man. Checks the runner, and he's going to bring a fastball right down the middle, and that's going to be hit in the gap between third and shortstop. And the ball gets back into the infield in a hurry. But the runner will advance to third, so that gives us runners on the corner with 2 outs.
Now for the Cougars, center fielder number 7.
And that's going to bring up center fielder Van Frischmidt. He's a lanky kid. We should have a big strike zone, so let's see if Manny can take advantage of that situation. Runners on the corner. Reyes. He checks the runners, and he's going to throw a fastball, and the runner's going to advance to second. He's going to be in a rundown, and we're going to come home, and we got him. A nicely done executed play to throw out the runner at home, and that's going to do it for the Cougars in the first half of the first inning. Our score, Palmetto Tigers 0, Barron Collier 0. A little surprised to see the third baseman, or the third base runner rather, try to attempt that ball. But as I said before, when you're out of district this time of year, you're going to take some chances against good competition, and that's what we're seeing with base runners so far this evening, and we'll see if Palmetto is going to follow suit on that. Pitching tonight for Barron Collier, Easton LaPlaca. Easton, a tall lefty. I don't know anything about his game, but anytime you have a tall left-hander, that's something that coaches really cherish to have in the lineup. And given the state of the program at Barron Collier, I'm sure that he's a very capable young man. We're going to see Mason Jantz have an opportunity here, as he is the leadoff hitter for the Tigers. Got a good crowd here tonight. If you get a chance certainly not too late to get over to Van Zerk Field and catch exciting Tiger baseball. But if you're not able, we hope that you're enjoying this broadcast on Tiger Vision, the #1 webcast in the world. And we're very pleased to bring you this broadcast this evening. Mason Jans
Leading off,
striding up to the plate.
For your Palmetto Tigers. Center fielder number 3, Mason.
Mason having a great year for the Tigers. And let's see what the lefty brings. And the first pitch is going to be a fastball down the middle. And Mason hits a hard grounder right to the shortstop for out number 1.
Now for your Tigers.
Mason didn't mess around. He decided to jump on him early. A nice pitch, but not able to get it into fair play and get on base. So that's going to bring up Byron Acevedo. And the pitch. And he's going to lay down a bunt, and it's a good one. And let's see if he's going to leg it out. And he is safe at first base on a beautifully executed drag bunt there by Byron Acevedo, showing speed from the left side of the plate. And able to get to first base safely on a beautiful bunt. And that's going to bring up Harrison Teal. Let's see if old Harrison can get the offense going here after the beautifully executed bunt by Byron Acevedo. And from the stretch, and a throw over from the lefty. A little bit easier to pick up the move on lefties because they have to face first base. So Byron Acevedo not fooled at all by that move. And let's see if we're going to be aggressive here on the base. And a pitch, and it's going to be well outside for ball number 1 on Harrison Teal. LaPlaca checks the runner, and he's going to have another throw over once again. Nothing spectacular, but if you know the book on Byron Acevedo, you want to keep him as close to first base as possible. He's got a lot of speed. We'd love to get him in scoring position here. 1 ball and no strikes. And another throw to first base by the pitcher, Easton LaPlaca. Byron showing some jukes over there. Let's not get too careless. And the pitch. And that's going to be outside for ball number 2. Just about had a pass ball there, but Johnny Long able to reel it in. 2 balls and no strikes. Let's see if Coach Glass decides to put a razzle-dazzle on here. Byron's going to go, and there's going to be, and it's in the dirt. It's a pass ball. He slides in safely, and he's going to check to see if he has an opportunity to advance, but not going to have an opportunity to get to third base on that play, but showing speed once again. And that's going to run the count to 3-0 on Harrison Teal. Let's see if Coach Glass is going to give him the green light with 3 balls and no strikes. And the pitch, and it's going to be a strike right down the middle. Coach Glass wisely telling Harrison to make this young lefty throw a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike on Harrison. Byron taking a good lead over there. Let's see. No, there's not going to be a move to second, and it's going to be an just on the outside edge of the plate for a called strike number 2. Wow, that's a broad strike zone there, but that's how it goes. The count is full on Harrison Teal. And the pitch. And there's a ball rather hit to the third baseman, who makes a nice play holding Byron Acevedo on second for out number 2.
Now for your Tigers.
That's going to bring up catcher Ty Hooks, the cleanup hitter. Just the guy you want with a runner on second base in obvious scoring position. The adroit catcher for the Palmetto Tigers with a lot of power. Let's see if he gets a pitch to hit here. Byron Acevedo taking a big lead on second. There's going to be no play there. There's a pitch. It's going to be a changeup. Ty goes after that one, but just can't connect. Got out front of it for strike number one. Byron taking a really good lead over there on second. And here they're going to make a move, and that's going to be a wild ball out into the center field. Byron is going to come into third base, and he's going to slide safely to advance to third on a throwing error by pitcher Easton LaPlaca, trying to get the pickoff move, but couldn't execute it. So that's going to dial up just a little extra pressure on him with Byron Acevedo at third. Ty Hooks at the plate, and there's going to be a fastball which is going to be low and outside. That's going to make the count 1-1. Ty looking to sit on a fastball here and take it for a ride if he gets the opportunity. The pitch, and that's going to be outside. Just missing is Ty Hooks. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So far, he's gotten ahead of the pitches on 2 changeups. Let's see if this pitcher is going to give him something to hit. Fastball, that's high. Running the count to 2-2. And Byron taking a good lead at third. The lefty. With the pitch, it's going to be a pop fly just on the edge of the grass in right field, and that's going to score Byron Acevedo. So a nice piece of hitting by Ty Hooks to get the ball over the first baseman's head and hit safely for a single, scoring the first run of the night, giving the Tigers a 1-0 lead. And that's going to bring up Luca Torralva. Luca Torralva having a great season at second base. Let's see if he can keep the offense going. And there's a fastball well outside for ball 1 on Luca. We have a pinch runner for Ty Hooks. I'm not sure who it is, but can't see it from here. But whoever it is, I know is going to have an opportunity here to advance. And a ball inside, just missing Luca. Let's see if we get an aggressive with the pinch runner. And the pitch. And again, once again, a fastball outside. Easton LaPlaca struggling so far with his control, and he's going to get a visit from his catcher, Johnny Long, to see if he can't make some adjustments. And after that little get together, Luca Torralva, 2 balls and no strikes. And there's going to be a move to first, which is easily picked up by the base runner. Just want to keep him honest. As I said, this time of year, we're going to see teams be aggressive on the base pass. Let's see, here's the pitch, and it's another outside fastball, and that's going to give Luca Torralva a free pass. So with 2 outs here, Mason Page coming up to the plate. Mason with a lot of power, and Barron Collier calling a timeout. They've got the infield in to talk situational baseball here. If Mason gets one in the strike zone. He's very capable of going yard. We'd love to see Palmetto jump on an early lead in this situation. Once again, we've got runners at first and second, 2 outs for Mason Page. Pinch runner taking a healthy lead at second. No move. Now the pitcher's going to take a little timeout to gather himself. Once again, a healthy lead. Let's see what Mason is going to do here. And there's a fastball, and he's going to hit that foul over into 17th Street, just missing the pickup truck going by. Tell you what, you got to keep your head up when you're driving on 17th Street during a Tigers baseball contest. Easy pickings over there. 1 ball and a strike. And that's going to be well outside. Catcher Johnny Long keeping the ball in front of him to prevent the Tiger base runners from advancing. 1 ball and a strike on Mason Page. Once again, taking a healthy lead are the base runners, and there's a fastball down in the dirt, but catcher Johnny Long able to keep it in front of him. 2 balls and a strike on Mason Page. I think we might get an opportunity to see a pitch down the middle here. Barron Collier not wanting to let this inning get out of hand with 2 outs. And the pitch and another foul ball. That's going to head over into the fairgrounds. That brings the count to 2-2 on Mason Page. The runners both taking a healthy lead here. No move. There's the pitch, and it's going to be a changeup. Mason fouling that off to keep his at-bat alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Looks like we might see a move. Nope, the pitch, and that's going to be, wow. A curveball just catching the outside of the plate, and that's a called 3rd strike on Mason Page. And boy, that strike zone is pretty wide tonight. Ball looking well outside the plate, but can't argue with the umpire. What he says goes. So we'll see if we have some consistency on that strike zone for the Tigers. Once again, Palmetto leads 1-0 over the Barron Collier Cougars. And you are watching Tiger Vision, the #1 webcast in the world. And we hope you're enjoying the telecast this season. Just a couple of mentions. We've got a fundraiser coming up this Saturday, May the 4th at River Wilderness Golf Course, the annual golf tournament to benefit the Palmetto High School football program. Go online to palmettotigers.com and click the link for golf tournament and register today. Positions are filling fast, so if you want to play, be sure and go online and register as soon as possible for that exciting tournament, and it just gets bigger and better every year. We're going to be televising portions of the golf tournament on Tiger Vision, so just a nice little wrinkle that we're adding to the golf tournament. Hope you can get out there and support Tiger football. And it's going to bring up center fielder Van Frischmidt. Manny Reyes looking good in the first inning for the Tigers. Coming out with good location on his pitches. Let's see if he can keep this going. The first pitch, and that's going to be low for ball one. And the pitch, and it's a fastball that does a nice job of movement from right to left. A very difficult pitch to hit. Beautiful fastball from Manny Reyes. 1-1 the count. And another fastball. This one is going to be fouled off into 17th Street, bringing the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes on Van Frischmidt. Reyes with the pitch, and another. That one's going to be down in the dirt, and even Ty Hooks can't stop them all. Maybe the least amount of control of any pitch so far Manny has thrown, so we'll give him a pass on that since he's even in the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch, and there's a ground ball hit to second base, and it's fielded cleanly and thrown to Gunnar Womar for out number 1. Luca Tarava making a nice play, well executed. And this is going to bring up designated hitter Jacob Marlowe. Jacob bats left. And the pitch, a fastball right down Main Street for strike number 1.
This is number 6, Easton LaPlaca.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And then Jacob Marlowe's the pitcher, 16.
Yeah, gotcha. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Check that. We stand corrected here in the booth. One of the moms making sure we get the lineup right. We had a lineup card, but there must have been a change that we weren't aware of. So that means Easton LaPlaca is the batter. And that's going to run the count there to 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch. And there's a grounder once again to the second baseman, Luca Tarava, who does a nice job once again of cleanly fielding the ball and throwing a nice accurate throw to Gunnar Womar for out number 2. And this is going to be Connor Phelan, and I mean it this time. I think we got it right in the booth. We're catching up to the lineup here. Connor Phelan for the batter. And a curveball missing high. 1 ball and no strikes. 2 outs. Manny Reyes. And there's a fastball down in the dirt, and that's going to get out into the stands. That one hit home plate, and it took a big hop just clearing the backstop and getting a little thrill for the fans here. We have a good crowd tonight. Well-attended game tonight. Still plenty of time to get here. The pitch, and that's once again a beautifully thrown fastball moving from right to left across the plate. Really a tough ball to hit. 2 balls and 1 strike, and another fastball right down the middle. That's going to be fouled off, evening the count to 2-2 on Connor Phelan. And the pitch, and a fastball. It's hit right to third baseman, who makes a beautiful throw to Gunnar Womar to end the inning. So, no damage done. A nice job by Manny Reyes working the lineup. And once again, the score, Palmetto Tigers 1, Barron Collier nothing.
Turn this town to ashes, 'cause they ain't never seen nothing like us. Ain't heard that
Got another fundraiser announcement. If you get a chance, go to PalmettoTigers.com. We have on May 11th, we're doing a fundraiser for boys soccer at El Sombrero restaurant here in Palmetto. That goes from 3 to 6 on Saturday, May the 11th. Tickets are $20 for all-you-can-eat buffet to support our boys soccer program. So when you get a chance, pick up some tickets for that, or you can go by the office at school. You can go online. You can go to El Sombrero and get your tickets, and we would appreciate your supporting that event. Up the bat for the Tigers, Maven Gordon. And Easton LaPlaca throwing a fastball down the middle. Maven just a little behind on that one. I have a feeling if he sees that pitch again, there'll be a different outcome. Another pitch, and there's a fastball up high for ball number 1. Maven always showing good discipline at the plate. And the pitch is going to be inside for a strike, just catching the corner. 1-2 on Maven Gordon. And there's a pitch, and it's going to be check swing and a drop ball, and it was a misplayed throw from the catcher, allowing Maven to advance to second, and he's going to circle around to third base. So a big throwing error by catcher Johnny Long, allowing Maven to reach base safely and advance to third. So we will take that.
Number 18, Gunnar.
That's going to bring powerful hitter Gunnar Womar up with no outs, and his buddy Maven Gordon at third. Let's see if Gunnar can drive Maven in for a score here. Maven taking a good healthy lead at third base, and the pitch, and that's going to be a high fastball well out of the strike zone. Gunnar Womar, a young man with a lot of power. You don't want to make a mistake on him with a runner in scoring position. Easton LaPlaca throws a changeup, nicely done. And Gunnar chasing, not able to hit that one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Maven taking a healthy lead. The pitch, and that's going to be well high and outside for ball number 2. Doesn't look like Barron Collier's too concerned about Maven. Let's see what the pitch is going to bring. And there's a fastball ripped right into center field, and it's caught, but it's not going to be in time to get Maven Gordon as he slides home safely for out number 2. And Gunnar Womar with an RBI sac fly, a hard-driven ball that was nicely played by center fielder Van Frischmidt. Not too many young men in high school level are going to be able to make a catch like that, and the throw, which was arriving at home a lot faster than we thought, but not fast enough to get Maven Gordon. 2-0 Palmetto. And the pitch fouled off by Brecken Fair, the designated hitter for the Tigers. Brecken batting left, facing a lefty. Let's see what he can come up with here. 1 strike on him, and there's a fastball. Did he check swing? And the third base umpire says no. That'll be ball 1. Close, but no cigar on that. 1 ball and 1 strike on Brecken Fair. And the pitch, and that's going to be a curved ball that looked like it was well upstairs in his face, and yet home umpire is going to call a strike on that one. So no break on that. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and another fastball, and Brecken chases, and that's going to be out number 1 on the strikeout.
Coming to the plate now from the Tigers. Center fielder, number 3.
It's going to bring up leadoff hitter Mason Jans, center fielder for the Tigers. Mason, another hitter you want to be wary of. And the pitch, and there's a changeup. Mason a little ahead of that one. Easton LaPlaca having much success with the changeup thus far tonight. Pitch number 2, and that's going to be a fastball grounded to the pitcher, LaPlaca, who makes a nice job of fielding the ball for out number 3. Our score, Palmetto Tigers 2, Barron Collier nothing. So while we've got a little bit of time between the innings, I'm going to plug another fundraising event that we have on May the 25th. We're going to have a booster fun day. Details will be announced on our next broadcast or on PalmettoTigers.com, so stay tuned for that event. We will have details coming in the very near future and fill you in, but we're going to have a big booster event on Saturday the 25th of May, and we will keep you posted with that information. Manny Reyes Manny Reyes having a good outing thus far, showing excellent control. And the guys down in the booth are having a little bit of fun with me up here. I really appreciate that. Oh, those guys, they're kidders. There will be paybacks later on after this broadcast, ladies and gentlemen.
First baseman, 22, Emmett Mariotto.
First baseman Emmett Maritato is the batter for Barron Collier. Pretty good sized young man. Check that, Maritato. To make sure I get that right, Maritato. Let's see what he can do. Manny Reyes having a good outing thus far. And the pitch, and a fastball down the middle, fouled off into the backstop for strike number 1. Manny's got really good movement tonight on his fastball, making it very challenging for batters. And second pitch, and there's another fastball, and that's going to be, and I might catch a foul ball here. Oh, nope, not going to get it. That was close. 1 ball and 1 strike on Emmett Maritato. The pitch, and that's going to be a ball low, bringing it to 2-1 on the count. One of the few wild pitches by Manny Reyes, and a curveball fouled off heading over to 17th Street, bringing the count to 2-2. And the pitch, and another fastball on the outside corner. Emmett Maritato having to swing to stay alive for this at bat. 2-2. There's the pitch and the curveball, and curveball just missing the strike zone. That's going to run the count to 3-2. Full count on Emmett Maritato. Manny sizing the batter. The pitch, another curveball, and that's going to be hit to third baseman Maven Gordon. who does a beautiful job of moving from right to left, fielding the ball cleanly and throwing the base runner out with plenty of time to spare. Beautifully done job by Maven Gordon on that play to get the first out of the inning. And Manny Reyes throwing a strike to right fielder Buddy Peckish. 0-1 on the count. And the pitch, and that's going to be down in the dirt for ball number 1. Buddy Peckish, the batter, number 9, and another ball down low. 2-1. Manny Reyes with the pitch, and that's going to be outside. Manny's picking up the pace a little bit here. Let's see if we may see a timeout here in a moment to settle him down. 3 balls and a strike. Let's see if he can find the plate on this pitch. And a fastball down the middle for strike number 2. Way to adjust for Manny Reyes. Full count on batter Buddy Peckish. And the pitch. And that's going to be ball 4. So Manny struggling just a little bit on that batter.
Top of the order, shortstop, number 5.
Having a great outing thus far in the contest is Manny Reyes. See if he can get back on track. Shortstop Matt Lord. Up to bat for the Cougars. And the pitch. And there's a ball. Ty Hooks doing a great job once again of keeping the ball in front of him, not allowing the base runner to advance. 1 ball, no strikes on Matt Lord. Buddy Peckish taking a good lead at first. And there's a throw over. But he gets back in plenty of time. As I mentioned earlier, we see teams getting very aggressive when they're out of district play. And there's a ground ball. It's going to be hit up the middle. Luca Taralva throwing on the run, just avoiding the base runner, and very close to being interference on that play. But the umpire says no, so that's going to advance Buddy Peckish to second base with 2 outs. So Marcus O'Malley, the second baseman, up to bat with a runner in scoring position in Buddy Peckish. And Manny Reyes checking the runner at second base. We've got Harrison coming behind, but there's going to be a pitch home, and that's going to be low out of the strike zone for ball number 1. From the stretch is Manny Reyes checking the batter once again. Harrison Toole coming behind, and a movement, but nobody was there to accept the throw. Just a good play by Manny Reyes to keep the base runner honest. Harrison Teal sliding in, and Manny coming home with a curveball for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Marcus O'Malley. Reyes checking the batter. Harrison Teal, no movement. Ball in the dirt. Ty Hooks once again taking a ball in the dirt, keeping it in front of him, even though he didn't know exactly where it was. The fact that he was able to knock it down in front of him prevents the opportunity for the base runner to advance. Well done play by Ty Hooks. 2 balls and a strike on O'Malley. Reyes with the pitch, and a curveball that just beautifully nestles right into the glove of Ty Hooks, coming over the outside of the plate. Maybe the best curveball we've seen tonight from Reyes. 2 balls and 2 strikes on O'Malley. Checks the runner, and this time he's going to be a fastball in the dirt. Once again, Ty Hooks keeping it in front of him. Well, you just can't say enough about how important it is to have a good catcher at the high school level that's able to prevent base runners from advancing. Very important at this level. And another curveball fouled off by O'Malley to stay alive. The count is 3-2. Full count on Marcus O'Malley with 2 outs. And right fielder Buddy Peckish on second. And there's a move to second, and Peckish gets back in time to avoid the put out. Got to keep the base runners honest. Manny Reyes checking the runner and the pitch on full count. A fastball hit up the middle just past Luca Torralva for a clean single, and the throw to home, and the throw was just late, allowing Peckish to score. And the base runner to advance with 2 outs. So the score now reads Palmetto 2, Barron Collier 1. Ty Hooks doing his best effort to field the ball in time and put a tag on base runner Buddy Peckish, but the ball just a step behind. And the trainers are coming out to check Ty. There was some contact between him and Buddy Peckish, and they're just going to make sure that nothing serious happened on that play. Ty's smiling about it, so I'm sure that he's okay. It'd take a lot to get him out of the lineup because he's a really tough kid. Coaches are just going to get the guys together here and settle down with a lead and 2 outs. You don't want to give up any mistakes here and give a cheap run away to Barron Collier. So after a good look over by the Tiger trainers, Ty Hooks is given the thumbs up, and he's resuming his much needed place behind the plate for the Tigers. And that's going to bring catcher Johnny Long up for Barron Collier. 2 outs and a runner in scoring position at second base for Manny Reyes. Checks the runner and the pitch, and a curveball. That's a high pop fly. It's going to settle under by Maven Gordon for out number 3. So that's going to do it for that inning. And that's going to leave us with a score of Palmetto 2, Barron Collier 1. All right, so I'm having a powwow with the cohorts up here in the booth to figure out the lineup. I think there was a last-minute change that we were not made aware of, so that put us a little out of sorts with the Barron Collier group. So if you're watching down there in Naples, just know that we were misinformed before the opening, and so if we got a few names mixed up, our apologies, but we think we've got it under control now. One thing we do know, Easton LaPlaca on the mound, the lefty, doing well, being in a couple of jams. He's maintained his composure and allowed himself to stay in this contest. And let's see if Palmetto can keep the offense going. Byron Acevedo up to bat for the Tigers, lefty on lefty, and another attempted drag bunt. I tell you, he had a beautiful drag bunt executed in the first inning, trying to see if he can duplicate that feat. That's hard to do twice in one game, but Byron certainly has the skills for it. A ball and a strike on Byron Acevedo, and there's a big looping curveball by the lefty, and that's going to float in there for strike number 2. That's a tough pitch for any left-handed hitter to try to hit. 0-2. And the pitch and a fastball inside, and Byron is going to send that into the parking lot here at Palmetto High. Staying alive, 0-2, is Byron Acevedo. The pitch, a fastball. Byron hits it to the second baseman, Marcus O'Malley, making an easy play for out number 1. And that's going to bring up shortstop Harrison Teal. Harrison Teal, the batter, 1 out. The pitch, and that's going to be a fastball just on the very broad strike zone here tonight. 0-1 on Harrison, and the pitch, and there's a fastball well outside, but this one's going to be called a ball, thankfully. 1-1. Wind picking up here at Van Zerk Field. The pitch, and Harrison thought about it on a fastball right down the middle, but pulled up, and that's going to be strike number 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Harrison Teal. And a missed fastball on that play to run the count to 2-2. Teams have a tough time scouting Harrison because he hits safely in so many ways. You're not sure what to give him, and he's going to have a hard grounder, and that's misplayed by the third baseman, allowing Harrison to round first base. Harrison Teal on base safely at first.
Our catcher, number 28, Ty Hooks.
And that brings up the ever dangerous Ty Hooks. Catcher Ty Hooks, a young man with a lot of power. Let's see if he's going to get the pitch he likes. Harrison Teal taking a good lead at first base. Easton LaPlaca is going to throw home, and that is going to be a strike on the outside for Ty Hooks. Checks the runner, and he's going to be a throw over once again. Pretty easy to spot that, but you have to do that nonetheless. When you have a team with speed like Palmetto, you've got to keep their base runners honest, even if it's an obvious pitching situation. And there's a fastball well outside the strike zone. One and one on Ty Hooks. Checks the runner and the pitch, and it's a fastball, and Ty a little late getting around on that one, and he's a little disappointed with himself. That one had the markings of possibly going for a long ride. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ty Hooks. Shortstop Harrison Teal taking a big lead at first. And we're going to see a throw over once again to no avail. Easton LaPlaca feeling some pressure. Checks the runner, and Harrison's going to steal, and there's a throw down, and he is going to be thrown out. Johnny Long with a very nice throw down to second base. Once again, the Tigers being aggressive as teams like to do this time of year. 2 outs now for the Tigers. Ty Hooks. And the pitch, and that's going to be down in the dirt. And that's going to run the count full on Ty Hooks. Let's see if he's going to have an opportunity to see a pitch he likes. If Barron Collier has done their homework, they might decide for a pitch out here, and that's exactly what they do. And that's going to send Ty Hooks down to first base, the base on balls, with 2 outs. And we're going to see a pinch runner for Ty, of course.
Now for your Tigers. Number 2,
Tyler Logan, the pinch runner. Tyler Logan pinch running once again for Ty Hooks, and that brings Luca Taralva, the second baseman, up for the Tigers with 2 outs. And there's a high fastball, ball number 1. The wind really picking up here in this half of the inning, blowing in. Going to be making it hard for any long drives, but Luca Taralva, not known for power but for base hitting. Let's see if he can move the base runner around, and a ball in the dirt, well played by Johnny Long. Once again, Barron Collier having a good baseball program, and not possible to have a successful program if you don't have good catchers. They are vitally important. And there goes Tyler Logan in, and a hit and run, and nicely executed. Tyler Logan's going to come into third and slide safely. Luca Taralva with a beautiful piece of hitting there on the hit and run call to advance his buddy to third base. Tyler Logan showing some speed, and that's going to be Mason Page up with 2 outs and runners on the corner. Mason, a young man with a lot of power. Let's see if he's going to have an opportunity to show it off here. 2-1 Palmetto. 2 outs. Runners on the corner. The pitch. And there's a fastball that is going to be hit foul down the third base line for strike number 1 on Mason Page. You don't want to make a mistake if you're Easton LaPlaca and give Mason an opportunity to do some damage here with 2 outs. The pitch, and that's going to be a ball hit down first base line foul. Well, Mason wasn't sure if he wanted to swing on that one. It was probably going to be in the strike zone, so he was wise to get a bat on it, but that's going to run the count to 0-2. And Easton LaPlaca well ahead in the count on Mason Page. But let's see if he makes a mistake here. Good lead at first, and a ball out well outside. Mason Page went after it, not able to connect, so that's going to end the inning for Palmetto. The score, Palmetto Tigers 2, Barron Collier 1. Once again, a beautiful night for baseball here at Van Zerk Field. Nice breeze, beautiful evening. Got a great crowd here. If you get an opportunity, it's not too late to get down to the ballpark. If not, you know you can catch the action right here on Tiger Vision, the #1 webcast in the world. And Manny Reyes on the first pitch, it's going to be down in the dirt for ball number 1 on Dylan Doria, the left fielder for Barron Collier. And Manny back with a fastball just high and out of the strike zone, 0-2, or check that, 2-0 on the count to Dylan Doria. Dylan a lefty, and Manny being a little impatient on this batter. He's run himself up to 3-0, but thus far he has shown an excellent job in being able to work his way back in the count. 3-0, and the pitch, a fastball, and that's going to be low for ball number 4. So Dylan Doria drawing a walk.
Now for Cougars, center field, number 17, Van Frischmidt.
Center fielder Van Frischmidt up to bat for the Cougars. And the Tigers are taking a timeout in the infield to settle Manny Reyes down a little bit. Just giving him a word of encouragement. Ty Hooks and the guys letting him know they've got his back and just settle down and go after these hitters. Runner on first. Reyes checks. He throws a fastball right down the middle for strike number 1. That was a beautifully paced ball. Once again, he's got really great movement from right to left tonight. Once again, finding the strike zone. 0-1 on Frischmidt. And there's a squared around for a bunt, and that's going to be strike number 2. And that's going to be strike number 3. Reyes with a beautiful curveball to strike out Van Frischmidt.
Number 6, Easton LaPlaca.
And there's a foul ball into the backstop for strike number 1 on Easton LaPlaca. And a drive, and that's going to be right to left fielder. The Tiger left fielder for out number 2.
Connor Phelan.
Yes. Connor Phelan, the batter for the Cougars. 2 outs, runner on first, and a move by Reyes over to first base, driving Dylan Doria back. Reyes checks the runner, and the pitch, and it's a beautiful strike with right to left movement once again. The count is 1-1. 2 outs, and once again left fielder Dylan Doria on first base, and a ball outside. 2 balls and a strike. Looked like Doria might have had a notion to attempt second base here, and he's taking a look at the signals from the dugout. Let's see if they're going to try to send him. Reyes checking the runner and the pitch, and there's a ball hit right up the middle, and it's going to be right to Luca Torralva for a force out at second to end the inning. Once again, the score: Palmetto Tigers 2, Barron Collier 1. So Easton LaPlaca still on the mound
Getting off the bottom of the fourth
for Barron Collier, having a good outing after a rocky start. He's settled down nicely. Maven Gordon up to bat for the Tigers. And the first pitch to Maven, and that's going to be a fastball on the outside corner of the plate. 0-1, the count to Maven Gordon. And the pitch, and that's going to be a ball just out of the strike zone high. 1-1. And the pitch. Boy, I will say this, that umpire is consistent on that really wide outside of the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch, and that's going to be an inside fastball right on the cuff. That's a hard pitch to hit, and Maven Gordon not successful for that at bat. And that's going to bring up first baseman Gunnar Womer. Let's see if Gunnar can do some damage here. No runners on, 1 out for Gunnar Womer. And the pitch, and that's going to be down in the dirt for Easton LaPlaca. 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch is going to be high. 2-0 to Gunnar Womer. Let's see if he's going to see something here that he can drive. Gunnar with a lot of power. And the pitch, and that's going to be an inside out fastball, and it's going to be a high fly infield fly to the shortstop for out number 2. That's a tough pitch.
Fair.
Riding up inside of the batter and jamming him. That's twice that Easton LaPlaca has had success with that pitch. And Brecken Fair, the DH for Palmetto, with a foul ball into the backstop. 0-1 on the count. Brecken, a lefty batter, going against a lefty, and the second ball is going to be down in the dirt. 1 ball and a strike. And it's challenging for lefties to face lefties because you just don't see too many left-handed pitchers if you're a left-handed hitter. And it's tough to pick up the ball when you're facing a guy that's opposite of you. And a called third strike on Brecken Fair. Wow, that was quite an inside pitch there. So that'll do it for the Tigers. Your score, Palmetto Tigers 2, Barron Collier 1. It's a beautiful night out here at the stadium, but the wind has picked up and it looks like we might be catching some rain clouds for later on this evening. But as far as our game night conditions, it's absolutely gorgeous. So once again, it's not too late for our fans to get down here to the ballpark and catch some really great high school baseball action. Palmetto having a very good year. By last count, number 19 in the state, and having a good year. And we're excited about the playoffs coming up in the very near future. But in the meantime, we've got a regular season game and a good one, a 2-1 contest here against the visiting Barron Collier Cougars. Manny Reyes on the mound for Palmetto, and he throws a high fastball for strike number 1. First baseman Emmett Maritado, the hitter for the Cougars, and a curveball just missing the corner of the plate brings the count to 1-1. Manny Reyes having a great night so far, and he brings a fastball right down the middle. Maritado with no chance on that one. A ball and 2 strikes to Emmett Maritado. Reyes with the pitch, and that's going to be low and out of the strike zone, 2-2. I think Ty Hook's trying to bait the young Mr. Maritado on that one, but to no avail. 2-2 is the count. Reyes with the pitch, and just missing on a breaking ball in the outside corner. That's going to run the count full, 3-2. Reyes with the pitch, and that's going to be outside for a base on balls for Emmett Maritado. It's again the wind picking up here,
For the Cougars,
blowing in,
right fielder, number 12.
making it very difficult, if not impossible, for any balls to get deep in the park. So we might see the outfield is definitely coming in under the wind conditions. And the number 9 hitter, right fielder Buddy Peckish, to the plate. Reyes checking the runner rather at first, and a throw over to first, keeping the base runner honest over there, and Mr. Maritado on his toes, but he's taking a nice big lead. Let's see if we're going to see some aggressive base running, and another throw over. That one a little bit closer. Umpire, first baseman umpire calling time, and now resuming play. Reyes checking the batter, and there's a pitch, and it's outside, an attempted bunt, but not able to execute is Buddy Peckish. That's a ball. 1-0 is the count. checks the runner. Another square around, and this time a strike on the corner. Beautifully placed ball there by Manny Reyes for strike number 1 on Buddy Peckish. Runner taking a healthy lead over there. Let's see if we're going to see another throw over. No, another square up. So they're definitely trying to advance this runner by bunt thus far. 2 balls and a strike. Now let's see if they're going to change it up here. Reyes checking the runner. Another square around and a fastball, and that's going to be outside the strike zone. So Manny Reyes working himself into a little bit of a difficult situation with a count 3-1 and a runner on first base. Let's see if he can find the strike zone on this play. And the pitch, and there's a fastball, and that's going to be called ball 4. So 2 base on balls. It's going to bring head coach Rich Glass out to have a little conversation with the guys, see if we're going to see a pitching change or if he's just going to settle. Nope, he's going to take Manny out. And Manny having a great game up until now. The fans showing their appreciation. He did a really good bit of work in this contest. And Coach Glass feeling that he's getting a little high up in his pitch count. At this time of year, you've got to start watching that. We're going into the playoffs soon, and keeping the guys fresh is of utmost importance. So we're going to have a pitching change here. And let's see who we've got in the lineup. Looks like Adam Leving is going to be the pitcher, number 21, for the Palmetto Tigers. Adam doing a great job coming off the bench all season long for the Tigers, so he is no stranger to this situation with runners on, and he's done an admirable job in the season thus far. And we had him just the other night. He did a great job in the contest that we broadcast. So Coach Glass feeling now is the right time to put Adam in, and having full confidence that he can get the job done. We're going to see shortstop and leadoff hitter Matt Lord is up to bat for the Cougars. So Ty Hook's going to go and have a little conversation with Adam. They're going to go over the game situation here with runners at first and second, and make sure the infielders are on the same page. Guys are talking, okay. Matt Lord, the batter for the Cougars. No outs and runners on first and second for Matt Lord against Adam Leving. Adam checking the base runners. And the pitch. And a bunt attempt. And a throw down to second. Almost catching the base runner out of position, but not quite able to execute, is the throw from Ty Hooks to Hunter Teal, but very close play. And the attempted butt by Matt Lord does not work, and that's 0-1 to batter Matt Lord. And let's see if he's going to square around again. And Palmetto's going to make a move to second base here, holding the runner, and he is going to square around. Adam Leving stepping off the mound. Barron Collier trying to dial up a little bit of base running pressure on Adam. But the pitch, and it's going to be a bunt down the third baseline, and he makes the throw to third. And the throw is not in time, So a well-executed bunt by Matt Lord. Adam Leving fielding the ball cleanly, but unable to get the throw to third base in time, and that's going to advance the runners. And bases are loaded with no outs. So that brings up Marcus O'Malley, and the situation just got a little more intense for Adam Leving. Adam showing cool all season long. Let's see how he responds in this situation. And he responds nicely right there by throwing a strike right down Main Street for strike number 1 on Marcus O'Malley. And the runner's not taking too much of a lead, so I don't think that Adam, even though he's going to step off in this situation, I don't think that he's too concerned about any movement. I think the Cougars are going to be content to force him to pitch to the batter. And he moved to third, though, and a very close play. Adam Leving making a nice move to the third baseman, Maven Gordon, very close to making a pickoff move there. Nice job of keeping the base runner honest. He's going to pitch this time, and it's going to be another strike down Main Street, fouled off. So Adam Leving running the count to 0-2 on young Mr. Marcus O'Malley. The infield in just a little bit, ready for a bunt if possible, or an infield hit, and another fastball, and that's hit cleanly right up the middle, and a throw home and cut off by Gunnar Womar, as it was not necessary to come all the way to home plate, and the first baseman wisely cutting the ball off in case any of the base runners overran their positions, which they did not. But that's going to score a run and bring the score to 2-2. And that's going to bring up catcher Johnny Long for the Cougars. No outs, bases loaded. A tentative situation for Adam Leving, but the curveball, and that's going to be foul for strike number 1 on Johnny Long. So the infield on the corners coming in to protect any possible scenarios involving a bunt. Short and second remaining in their usual deep positions. Adam Leving with the pitch, and a fastball fouled off, and that's going to bring the count to 0-2 on Johnny Long. Once again, I don't see Barron Collier being too crazy with their base running, letting you to see how this is going to play out. And another fastball, that's a grounder, and he's going to go to first. And the throw late, so a high infield hit that took a long time to come down and allow Adam Leving to field it proves costly, as unable to get the force out at first base, and allows the runner at third to advance. So that gives the Cougars a 3-2 lead with bases loaded and no outs. Well, let's see if we can't get something good like a double play situation here for the Tigers. A pitch, and there's a ball, and it's hit down the left field line, and it is going to sail just foul. Fortunately, the wind helped us out on that play and pushed that ball well outside of fair territory, because that, had it fallen in play, could have emptied the bases very easily. 0-1 is the count. Adam Leving checking the runner at third base, and the pitch, and an attempted bunt foul. That's going to be 0-2 to Dylan Doria. Once again, our first and third baseman coming up just in case there is an attempt to the bunt or an infield ball they can cut off quickly. Shortstop and second base remaining in a deep position, and the outfielders coming in just a little bit. And a pitch, a fastball, just missing the mark, is Adam Leving. And that's a tough ball for any hitter to lay off, but Dylan Doria feeling confident on that one and able to avoid the strikeout. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Adam Leving checking the runner and the pitch, and there's a fastball right down the middle, and that one is going to be called high as well. That one looking a little bit closer to the mark there, so 2-2 to Dylan Doria, and no outs thus far in the inning. Adam Leving checking the runner and the pitch, and there's a curveball fouled off into the backstop. Dylan Doria remaining alive. Adam Leving desperately wanting to get an out in this situation and take some of the heat that he finds himself in. He's doing a great job of handling the pressure as he has all season, and the wind gaining in strength, so the likelihood of any deep balls is very, very slim. And once again, a foul ball, so Dylan Doria able to remain alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Third base runner is not taking too much of a lead. I don't think he is one of their faster players, but he's just content to see how this plays out here. And the pitch, and there's a ball hit to the second baseman, and he makes the play to first base, but not without allowing for another run to score. And that's going to take the score to 4-2. Barron Collier taking the lead over the Palmetto Tigers. But Palmetto gets the out on the force. And so with runners in scoring position at second, third, that's going to bring up Van Frischmidt, center fielder for the Cougars. And let's see him, Adam Leving, can work some magic here and get out of this jam. He's squaring around for a bunt, and we might have a rundown and a wild throw, but Hunter Teal able to track the ball down, or excuse me, check that, Harrison Teal able to track the ball down before the third base runner can advance. I think Maven made the commitment to crash home plate for the attempted bunt, and it put him out of position a little bit to field the throw for the rundown. A ball and no strikes to Frischmidt, and there's a fastball up the middle, and it's going to go to second baseman Luca Toralva, and he is able to get the force out at first base, but another run able to cross home plate for Barron Collier, and that runs the score to 5-2 in favor of the visiting Cougars. 2 outs. And pitcher Easton LaPlaca at bat, hitting as a lefty. So he pitches and bats left. Ty Hooks going out to have a quick word with Adam Leving. He's probably telling him, let's go get this guy and get out of this inning and get back up to get our offense going. Runner on third. He checks it. It is a pitch, and it's going to be outside for a ball. Johnny Long, the catcher, is the base runner. Most likely not a threat to run. Nevertheless, Adam Leving taking no chances and keeping him honest with the look. But then he throws a pitch and just missing the strike zone there, 2-0 against Easton La Placa. Once again, the wind gusting here, and a beautifully thrown curveball in for a strike. Adam Leving with great location on that pitch. 2-1 is the count. Pitcher Easton La Placa at bat for the Cougars. Runner on third. And the pitch. And a fastball right down the middle. And a check swing. Third base umpire says he did not break his wrist. And that's going to mean ball three. So 3-1 is the count on Easton La Placa. Adam Leving eyeing the runner, and he throws a beautiful curveball once again. And that's going to run the count full. 3-2 on Easton La Placa. 2 outs in the inning, and a runner on third base. He checks the runner and the pitch, and it's a fastball inside, and come on. Ooh, wow. I have to question, ladies and gentlemen, wow, did that look like a beautifully thrown strike, but the home plate umpire says no, and that's going to allow Easton La Placa a base on balls. So runners on the corner with 2 outs. And that's going to bring Connor Phelan, the third baseman, up to bat with 2 outs and runners on the corner. Let's see if Adam can work out of this jam. He checks the runner at first, and the throw, and there's a ball hit right to Gunnar Womar, a line drive. Gunnar Womar fields it beautifully, and it ends the inning, but not after the damage has been done. Barron Collier able to get bases loaded and work their way into a 5-2 lead. So the Tigers have got their work cut out for them, putting themselves in a hole against a really good team from the visiting Barron Collier. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder, we do have the golf tournament coming up this Saturday, May the 4th at River Wilderness. Registration is open online. You just go to PalmettoTigers.com and click the link for a golf tournament. Lots of fun and prizes await the players. Weather is expected to be really good, and it's a great annual event that we use to raise funds for Palmetto High School football. So your participation and generosity is both encouraged and appreciated. And remember, once again, that is May the 4th, this coming Saturday at River Wilderness. And we will have Tiger Vision coverage at the golf tournament, something we're adding this year because we want to be able to feature the players and the businesses that are supporting Tiger Athletics and Tiger Vision, the #1 webcast in the world. Hope you're enjoying tonight's telecast. And that's going to bring up leadoff hitter, center fielder Mason Jantz for the Tigers. And Mason Jantz, the batter, and pitcher Easton La Placa still on the mound, and that's going to be ball 1. 5-2 is our score. If you're just joining us, the last inning not so good for the Tigers, and Mason Jantz with an attempted bunt foul. Tigers loading the bases, or allowing the bases to be loaded rather, and giving Barron Collier an opportunity. And they took advantage to take a 5-2 lead in this contest in the 5th inning. And the pitch, and a curveball floating in nicely for strike number 2 against Mason Jans. 1-2 is the count. And the pitch, and that's going to be down in the dirt. Mason showing his usual excellent control at bat. And the pitch, and there's another ball down in the dirt. Once again, Mason laying off that one, and that's going to run the count full. 3-2 on Mason Jans. Let's see if he's going to have an opportunity to get on base here. And the pitch, and a high fastball missing the mark, and Mason Jans is going to draw a walk and get on first base, and that's going to bring the coach for Barron Collier to the mound. And let's see if we're going to see a change, or if he just wants to have a little chat with his pitcher and the infielders and settle him down. Thus far, Easton LaPlaca having a very good outing. It looks like they're just going to go over situation here. Barron Collier not wanting Palmetto an opportunity to rally in this game. So once again, it looks as though Easton LaPlaca will stay in the contest.
Number 7, Byron Acevedo.
And that's going to bring up Byron Acevedo. Byron, who had a beautifully executed drag bunt down the third base line early in the contest. Let's see if Byron can do some damage at this at-bat and get his buddy Mason Jans in scoring position. And he's going to take a strike on that first pitch, as that was really down and low, but nonetheless a strike is called. 0-1 on Byron Acevedo. And the pitch, and that one is definitely in the dirt. Gets away from Johnny Long for a moment, but he's able to gather it, not allowing any opportunity for Mason to get to second base. Byron Acevedo bats left against a lefty. Always a challenge, but this is his third at bat, so let's see if he's seen what he needs to see here against Easton LaPlaca. And that is a pitch and a bunt, beautifully executed down the middle, and no chance to get the runner Mason Jans at second. So once again, Byron Acevedo asked to execute a bunt and doing a beautiful job of getting his friend and teammate Mason Jans in scoring possession, and that's going to bring up Harrison Teal. And let's see what Harrison can do with a runner in scoring position. And now we're going to see another time called by Barron Collier, and the coach is coming out, so it looks like this might be all for Easton LaPlaca at this point. And that's right, bringing in a righty as he signals. So Easton LaPlaca having a excellent night, and the crowd showing their appreciation for the job that he has done on the mound. Quite an impressive effort by the young left-hander. And we'll try to get some information on this pitcher coming in for Barron Collier. And that's going to bring in Sean Means for Barron Collier, a lanky young man, looking like he's got some good pop with the fastball here in warm-ups. And not sure what the book is on this young man, but once again, when you're facing competition of the caliber of Barron Collier, you never get a night off against good competition at the high school level for baseball. There are so many great teams in the state of Florida, so many strong teams on our schedule. We have one of the toughest schedules in the entire state, and that's reflective of our record, even though we haven't had a dominant in the win column. We being a few games above 500, the fact that we are ranked is a testament to the tough schedule that Rich Glass and his staff have put together to challenge the Tigers and get them ready for the playoffs. Sean Means, the new pitcher, in for Barron Collier. So Harrison Teal.
Tiger shortstop number 1, Harrison Teal.
Harrison Teal up to bat once again. 1 out. Mason Jans, the base runner, at second base in scoring position. Let's see if old Harrison can move his friend along the base paths here. Sean Means from the stretch, and he throws a fastball, and he grooves that right down the middle for strike number 1. He's got a long stride at the mound, this young man. And he's not, doesn't seem to be too concerned with the base runner. And pitch number 2, and there's a drive up the middle. It's hit to the shortstop, who makes the throw, and it's going to be a wild throw, and that's going to allow Harrison Teal to arrive safely at first base and advance Mason Jans to third. So with 1 out, runners on the corner, and catcher Ty Hooks up to the plate. The exact situation that you'd want when your team is behind is to have your senior catcher and cleanup hitter up to bat. And let's see if we're going to see some movement here with the base runners. The pitch, and there's a curveball, and that finds the mark for strike 1 against Ty Hooks. Harrison Teal taking a good leave at first base. Let's see if he's going to go. He's not going to go, and the pitch is going to be, well, that's well inside, but the plate umpire calls it a strike. 0-2 on Ty Hooks, so Ty in the hole early here. Let's see if he's going to see a pitch to hit, and a pitch out right there, but the Tigers not fooled on that play. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ty Hooks. Mason Jans taking a nice healthy lead at third. Harrison Teal at first. The pitch, and a curveball hit right up the middle, and that's going to be hit into a double play, unfortunately. So that's going to end the inning. What might have been a good rally situation for not in that inning, as Ty Hooks hits a drive up the middle, but the second baseman pulled in, was not going to make a mistake on that situation, and a nicely turned double play to end the side. Our score after 5, Barron Collier 5, Palmetto Tigers 2. As I mentioned earlier, ladies and gentlemen, we do have an additional fundraiser that's coming up on May the 11th. That'll be at El Sombrero Restaurant here in Palmetto, as we do a fundraiser for the boys soccer team, who had an excellent season this year, went deep in the playoffs, and they're also going to have their team banquet to coincide with the fundraiser. So if you get a chance, get to El Sombrero on Saturday, May the 11th. That event will be going from 3 to 6 in the evening, and that's going to be an all-you-can-eat buffet for $20. So you can put the feed bag on and help support Tiger Soccer, and we encourage you to come out and support that event. Adam Leving still on the mound for the Tigers. And he did a great job under a lot of pressure in the previous inning, and coming into a situation where you've got runners on base is a challenge for any pitcher, and Adam did a great job of working out of that jam, even though we were able to prevent Barron Collier from scoring. But nevertheless, Adam doing a great job on the mound as usual. And the pitch is going to be a fastball. Emmett Meritato not able to connect on that one. 0-1 is the count. Adam throws a curveball that's going to be out into 17th Street, and I'm just noticing that he is throwing from the stretch, at least on the first few pitches here. Let's see if he's going to go to the windup now. Now he's changing it up. And the pitch, and another curveball. Emmett Meritato able to stay alive at 0-2 with a foul ball down the first base line. Once again, the score 5-2, Barron Collier. Adam Leving with the pitch, and there's another curveball that's hit up the middle to second baseman Luca Torralva, and Luca not able to field the ball cleanly, so that's going to allow Emmett Meritato to get to first base safely. Luca Torralva, the usually sure-handed second baseman, and he's kicking himself a little bit on that one. Looks like he tried to take a look at first and make the throw before he had cleanly fielded the ball. So that's going to bring up Buddy Peckish, and Buddy's going to square around for a bunt laid down first baseline, and that's going to be foul. Gunnar Womer almost picking that ball up before it had rolled into foul territory, but nevertheless it did, and that will be strike one on Buddy Peckish. So let's see if they're going to continue to execute in the bunt. Adam Leving checking the runner at first, and a throw over. Nothing close, just keeping the base runner honest. Buddy Peckish 0-1 on the count, and Adam Leving squaring up, and the pitch, and a high fastball. Ty Hooks coming up as if he was going to attempt a throw, but the base runner having the good sense to stay close to first base there. You don't want to give Ty Hooks a window. He will throw you out. The pitch, another square round on the bunt, and an appeal to the first base umpire, and he says he did not break his wrist, so that's going to be ball two. 2-1 on Buddy Peckish. Adam Leving checking the runner, and the pitch, and a fastball right down the middle, blowing that right past Peckish. An excellent fastball there by Leving. 2-2 is the count. Adam checking the runner at first. Taking a tentative lead over there is Emmett Meritato, and a ball well off the mark, fielded nicely by Ty Hooks, preventing the base runner from advancing to second. Once again, great job by Ty to protect his team. And a pitch, and that's going to be inside, ball three. So a base on balls. Ty Hooks and Coach Glass and company are going to come in and have a little chat with Adam. Let's see if we can determine what we're going to do. And it looks like Rich is going to make another change. So Adam Leving doing a nice job in a difficult situation, coming in with bases loaded and no outs in the previous inning, and that's a tough situation for any pitcher to have to deal with, and he did a great job. And now it looks like we're going to see number 25, and I'm going to check and see who that is on our lineup here. So Jaron Smith on the mound for the Tigers. Not sure what the book is on Jaron. I think he's an underclassman that they brought up, and he's a tall drink of water out there. He got a lot of whip with his action. Looks like he's got a pretty good fastball. Thus far, we've not had the pleasure of seeing him perform on Tiger Vision this year, but Coach Glass and the staff feeling really good about this young man and bringing him in this situation. I'm sure that they're confident that he's going to get the job done. You find out a lot about pitchers when they have to come in a situation that they didn't create, and particularly with runners in scoring position. And once again, this time of year, Coach is very sensitive to pitch count, which is why we probably didn't see Adam Leving much more in this contest, resting the arms for the playoffs. Very important. But nonetheless, we're going to try to salvage this game down 5-2 here in the 6th inning, and that brings up leadoff hitter Matt Lord for the Cougars. Jaron Smith checking the runner at second, and the pitch, and a strike. A nice movement on the fastball for Jaron Smith. Like I said in warm-ups, he's got a lot of whip, and you see a lot of gangly action. That's something to distract a batter, as well as the fastball. Checking the runner at second, another pitch, and it's going to be a curveball, and Ty hooks down at second base and barely misses on a pickoff. Ty almost getting the base runner who was not paying attention. Ty Hooks doing an excellent job as always. 1 ball and 1 strike to Matt Lord. Jaron Smith, and he squares around for a bunt, and it's going to be fielded by Maven Gordon, and there's going to be an errant throw on the play, and that's going to score another run. So a throwing error allowing a run to score. Maven would like to have that one back again, because he's usually accurate young man, but sometimes when you get down, you can tend to press and try to do too much, and I think he was thinking that he had an opportunity for the throw to first base. But nevertheless, runners on second and third with no outs, and that brings up Marcus O'Malley once again. Jaron Smith with the pitch, and there is a fastball hit foul down the left field line. Jaron Smith showing a lively arm thus far. Oh and 1 is the count, and the pitch, and a high fastball. That's going to be ball 1. Jaron's got a lot of movement on his pitches. If he gets that one down in the strike zone, that's going to be a tough ball to hit. 1-1 the count, and the pitch, and a curveball, and it's going to catch the outside of the plate for strike 2. A well-thrown curveball by Jaron Smith. 1-2 is the count. Once again, runners at second and third. The runner on second taking an enormous lead. Palmetto forced to crash the infield in, and Ty Hooks doing a great job of keeping a errant pitch in front of him. 2-2 is the count. In this situation, the infielders have to give up any play on holding the runners because they've got to be concerned with no outs and fielding any ball hit in the infield. And there's a drive, and it's going to be a pop fly right to Maven Gordon, who settles under it nicely, and that's going to bring up the first out. So a nice job by Maven. outside. And Johnny Long diving back to third base. Ty Hooks with the fake. 3-1 is the count. Let's see if we can get this in the strike zone. And there's a high fastball, and that's going to be a base on balls and force the base runner home. So another run scored, raises the lead to 8-2. Barron Collier over the Tigers. And Connor Phelan, the third baseman, at the plate with 2 outs and bases loaded. And the pitch, there's a fastball, and that's going to be foul, but possibly able to make it play is Connor Wormar, but that is going to go into the visiting bullpen. Strike number 1. Oh, and 1 is the count. Jaron Smith, the pitcher, and he brings a fastball, just missing the strike zone there. 1-1. Bases loaded once again. 2 outs. Let's see if we can get this. And a foul ball. That's going to be raising the count to 1-2 on Connor Phelan. So Jaron Smith in a good position here against batter Connor Phelan. Let's see if he can get the strikeout. And the pitch. And a fastball on the outside of the plate, just missing the mark. 2-2 to Connor Phelan. The pitch and a fastball that's hit right up the middle to Hunter, and he makes the throw in time. Hunter Teal with a nicely executed throw to Gunnar Womar to get out the out, but the damage done as Barron Collier able to take a 8-2 lead in this contest. So we've got another inning to try to make up ground, and as disappointing as the score is, it's important to remember that Coach Glass is erring on the side of caution here as he's taken out his pitchers early. At this time of the season, it is very important to let the guys rest, as they will be needed very soon as we start the playoffs, and wisely choosing to allow the guys to rest. And remember that although every game is important, this game does not affect our standings in the district or our playoff position. So an important factor to remember in high school baseball. It's important to stay on top of your pitch count with your pitchers and not overtax them going into the playoffs. Once again, it's a beautiful night here, and it looks like we may have a new pitcher. I'm trying to check here who that is. It's number 11. No, I think that's the same pitcher we saw earlier, number 11. Yeah. For a moment there, it looked as though they were having a pitching change. But Sean Means on the mound still for the visiting Cougars. A young man with a lively fastball. And that's going to bring up second baseman Luca Taralva. Luca leading off in this inning, having a good game thus far. Let's see if he can get the offense going. And the pitch, and that's way down in the dirt for ball number 1. Luca ready at the plate. And a ball that just catches the outside of the strike zone for strike number 1. 1-1 the count on Luca Taralva. Luca, not a young man with a lot of power, but certainly very good at base hitting. And let's see if he can have an opportunity to do that. But he's going to see a really nasty curveball nestle in the strike zone to bring the count to 1-2. No outs. Our score 8-2. Barron Collier. And the pitch going to be well outside. 2-2 is the count on Luca Taralva. And the pitch, and there's a foul ball. Lucas staying alive as the wind increases once again. It has been gusting intermittently all evening, and this might be the strongest we've seen thus far. Luca, and a ball that looked like it was going to ride up and possibly hit him, but it is out of the strike zone, so the count is full on Luca Taralva. He waits for the pitch. Here it is, and it's going to be a fastball down the middle, and he's a beautiful job of hitting, and that ball is going to be just foul down the right field line. And oh my, if that had just stayed fair, Luca Taralva was on his way to a triple. But the wind pushing it just outside the boundary. A nice piece of hitting there by Luca. Let's see if he's going to have an opportunity at a pitch like that again. Three and 2 is the count. 8-2 is your score. Barron Collier leading the Tigers. And the pitch, a fastball, and once again Luca fights it off towards the area of the right field, but that's going to be well foul. Staying alive at this juncture is important. If we can get Luca on base, we might get a rally going here. 3-2. The pitch, it's down in the dirt. Luca's going to get on the base on balls. And that's going to bring up Mason Page, the left fielder. And Mason, once a young man with a lot of power. Let's see if Coach Glass is going to turn him loose here. Luca Taralva taking a healthy lead at first base. Let's see if we're going to get some movement here. And the pitch, and that's going to be outside, ball number 1. Luca with a lot of speed. Good chance we might see him heading towards second base at this juncture in the contest. See if we can get something going. And the pitch, and there's a strike on the outside corner. 1-1 the count on Mason Page. Pitcher Means checks Luca, and he's going to throw, and there's a ball hit to the shortstop on a slow grounder, and it looks like we might see a double play, and we do. So Mason Page, unfortunately, hitting into a double play situation there. So with 2 outs, that's going to bring up third baseman Maven Gordon. And let's see if Maven can get some offense going here. The pitch, a curveball, just missing the strike zone on Maven Gordon. Maven showing excellent discipline at the plate there. And the pitch, number 2. There's a fastball. Maven hits it up the middle to the shortstop, who fields it cleanly and is able to throw Maven out for out number 3. So at the end of 6, we're looking at the score of Barron Collier Cougars 8 and the Palmetto Tigers 2. And do we have a pitching change? I believe we did. We've got number 17 on the mound, and that's going to be number 17 is Stover, pitcher for Palmetto. I'll find out if we can get his first name. Once again, the strategy obvious for the coaching staff. Let a lot of pitchers see some action, but we don't want to stay too long with any one pitcher as we are approaching the playoffs. And it's very important, as I stressed earlier, that we rest our pitching staff. And so that's going to bring up Cale Stover, number 17 for the Tigers. Cale, a promising young man, the coaches tell me, and good to see a young pitcher get an opportunity against quality competition like this. Once again, every move that the pitching staff makes is in preparation for playoffs. So you want all of your pitchers, whether they were brought up or haven't seen much action, you want to get them some game time in a contest against strong competition, getting ready for the playoffs. And once again, the wind is gusting, so not likely that we're going to be seeing any deep balls driven. We'll see what the coaches decide to do in terms of defensive placement.
Now for the Cougars, in the top of the 7th inning, first baseman number 22, Emmett Maritato.
And first baseman Emmett Maritato up to bat for the Cougars. Let's see what Stover's got in store, and he throws a fastball right down the middle, nicely placed pitch by Cason Stover for strike number 1. And number 2 just missing, a little high and outside. Mr. Maritato thought about that one for a moment, but decided to hold back, and that's going to bring the count to 1-1. And the pitch, another fastball. That's going to be just low for ball number 2. Two balls and a strike is the count to Emmett Maritato. Staver with a pitch, and that ball's going to be driven right up the middle between shortstop and second base for a base hit single for Emmett Maritato. A nice piece of hitting on a low fastball. And that's going to bring up right fielder Buddy. Check that. A substitution.
Now hitting
number 14, Thomas Balbona, a lefty, pinch hitting for Buddy Peckish. And the pitch, a fastball down the middle for a strike. A well-placed ball. Stover once again finding the mark on that pitch. And number 2. And it looked like a possible square around for the bunt, but it did not happen. Stover getting the called strike. 0-2 the count with a runner on first base. And the pitch again, and a fastball down the middle, fouled off into foul territory along 14th Avenue. So still got to be careful if you're driving out there. You get near the ballpark, you never know what's going to possibly land on your windshield. 0-2 is the count. And the pitch. A fastball. He blows it right past Balbona for his first strikeout. Excellent job by Stover on that pitch. So 1 out. Once again, our score 8-2. Barron Collier and a runner on first base. Matt Lord, the leadoff hitter. The pitch. And a curveball just missing the outside of the plate. Stover hadn't shown that pitch yet thus far, but just missing the mark on the curveball. We might see that again here in a hurry. Pitch number 2. And that's a fastball down in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes to Matt Lord. Stover looking relaxed on the mound, which is what you want to see out of a young pitcher. Doesn't seem to be fazed by the runner, and he throws a beautiful fastball down the middle. But Matt Lord is going to drive that to center field for a base hit. And that's going to bring up Marcus O'Malley with runners on first and second and 1 out. Marcus O'Malley, the second baseman, up to bat. And let's see what Stover has in store for him here. He checks the runners and the pitch and a fastball off the plate. Ty Hooks doing a great job once more of keeping the ball in front of him, as always. 1 ball, no strikes to O'Malley. And the pitch. And there's a ball, a rare pass ball by Ty Hooks. And Ty calls a timeout as he gathers up the ball, and that's going to allow the runners to advance to second and third. And Ty's going to have a talk with young Mr. Stover because his pitches are falling far off the mark here, and Ty's going to try to get him untracked here so we can get some balls in the strike zone. 2 balls and no strike is the count to Marcus O'Malley. Once again, runners on second and third. And Stover stepping off, taking a look at the runners, seeing if we're going to keep them honest. It looks like the Tiger infielders are playing O'Malley straight up, so we're not concerned about the runners. And there's a drive to Luca Toralva. He keeps it down and throws to Gunnar Womar for the out. But a run scored, running the count 9-2 in favor of Barron Collier.
Down for the Cougars, catcher number 9, Johnny Long.
And that's going to bring catcher Johnny Long up to the bat with a runner on third. Stover eyeing the plate and the pitch, and a curveball nicely thrown from right to left, breaking at just the right moment there. Beautifully thrown curveball for strike number 1. He checks the runner at third. And the pitch and a fastball that's going to be foul. Right fielder Byron Acevedo trying to make a play, but just out of reach in the visitors' bullpen is the foul ball. 0-2 the count on Johnny Long. Stover, the pitch, a fastball. It's going to be low and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Johnny Long. Johnny with the pitch, and it's a foul ball into the backstop. Stover doing a nice job of location on his pitches, keeping catcher Johnny Long guessing. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch and a fastball, and that's going to be a high fly to right field. Byron Acevedo ending the inning with a catch on the fly ball, but one more run over across the plate for Barron Collier, and that leaves us at 9-2 in favor of the visiting Cougars. Palmetto with one more chance to rally. We'll see if they can pull off the miracle. Looks like we're going to see another pitcher for Barron Collier. Not sure who this is. We don't have a complete lineup. Looks like it. I'm looking at number 7 possibly. Yes, number 7 for Barron Collier. We're looking at Adrian Abed. Pitcher Adrian Abed on the mound for the Cougars.
Now pitching number 7, Adrian Abed.
Adrian looks like he's got a sidearm delivery with a lot of movement. And he looks like he's got quite a fastball as well. So another excellent pitcher, another challenge for the Tigers. It's never easy for high school baseball in Florida. You're going to consistently see great baseball being played at the high school level throughout the state of Florida. And the West Coast certainly has its share of good teams. The two here tonight being a couple of those. And even though it's a big lead for Barron Collier, you got to keep in mind that the Tigers aren't really showing all of their stuff, because at this late juncture of the regular season, you're more concerned with resting your starters and saving arms than you are necessarily with wins and losses, due to the fact that neither of these teams is affected by the win or loss of this game in terms of the playoff implications. So that being the situation, Palmetto wisely choosing to rest their pitching staff, and sometimes that puts you in a precarious situation in a game that you'd like to win. Gunnar Womar, the batter, and he's going to take a called strike from Abed, a young man with a tremendous fastball. And Gunnar Womar not the least bit concerned as he drives a single between third base and shortstop on a fastball. A great job of hitting by Gunnar Womar. That's going to bring it Brecken Fair, the designated hitter. And let's see if Brecken can get some offense going here with his good friend Gunnar Womar on first base. Well, Abed working with a runner on. Let's see if he can handle the pressure. Brecken Fair batting left. And the pitch, and there's a curveball that runs inside, but that's going to be out of the strike zone for ball number 1. Brecken doing a good job of avoiding that fatally hurtful pitch there. And another fastball up the middle. Brecken hitting that foul down the first base line. Gunnar Womar, the runner, at first. Gunnar has decent speed, but probably not much of a threat to steal here, so doubtful we're going to see anything of that nature. I think Coach Glass is going to see if Brecken can get his offense going, but he takes a strike and runs the count to 1-2. Abed checks Gunnar Womar at first. And the pitch, a fastball that's going to be high out of the strike zone to run the count to 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brecken Fair. Let's see if he can get a pitch to hit. The fastball way outside, almost a pass ball. Johnny Long doing a great job behind the plate. We've got two excellent catchers tonight, and they have earned their keep by preserving the ability to keep runners at their respective bases without advancing with a wild throw. And Brecken Fair thought he had ball 4, but the umpire sees it differently and rings him up for a called strike 3.
Number 3, Mason.
And so with 1 out, leadoff hitter, center fielder Mason Jantz gets up to the plate. Let's see if Mason can move Gunnar Womar around a little bit. There's a fastball, and that is going to find the mark for a strike. Now this young man, Abed, has quite a lively arm, and with his motion, it is a distraction along with the speed of the pitch, and he throws a curveball that time. It's going to be out of the strike zone. Mason Jantz doing a good job of laying off a pitch that a lot of hitters rather like to chase. 1-1 is the count, and a change-up curveball, a really nasty pitch. Had Mason guessing on that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count with 1 out. Gunnar Womar at first. The pitch, and another change-up curveball, and that's going to send Mason Jantz to the dugout. So with 2 outs,
right fielder number 7, Byron.
Right fielder Byron Acevedo up to the plate. With 2 outs, the score 9-2 in favor of the Barron Collier Cougars. Let's see if Byron can get something going here. And a pitch, a curveball, finds the mark for strike 1. Abed showing excellent control coming off the bench in a bullpen situation. He looks very much the closer for this team. And the pitch, a curveball hit down to the shortstop, and he's going to make a throw, and off the mark. This is going to allow Byron Acevedo to arrive safely at first base. So with 2 outs, runners on first and second, it's going to bring up shortstop Harrison Teal.
Shortstop number 1, Harrison Teal.
So let's see if we can do some damage here with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Harrison Teal at bat facing Abed. And the pitch, a curveball missing well outside. Johnny Long calling time, going to have a chat with his pitcher. This young man, Abed, looks like he is no stranger to finishing games and looks very confident on the mound, but he's in a little bit of a situation with a runner on scoring position. Let's see if Harrison can get Gunnar over to third, and Abed comes right back with a blazing fastball on the outside corner to run the count to 1-1. The wind picking up once again. That's been gusting all night long. The pitch, and Harrison drives the ball down the third base line foul. It's going to run the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes on Harrison Teal. Runners on first and second, taking a good lead. Abed with the pitch, a fastball outside in the dirt. 2-2 is the count. Once again, Gunnar Womar taking a healthy lead on second. Not a threat to steal, but nevertheless, a fastball. Hunter Teal puts that into the parking lot here behind our position. in the grandstand. 2-2, the count remains. The pitch, a high fastball out of the strike zone. That's going to run the count to full 3-2 on Hunter Teal. And let's see if he's going to have an opportunity to see a pitch he'd like to hit. Abed gets the signal. And the runner is going. And a hit and run on Harrison Teal, fouling that ball into the parking lot to remain alive. 3-2, full count. Byron Acevedo not making a move to second base, so I'm not sure if they were all on the same page there. Gunnar Womar certainly on the move. Let's see, now both of them will take off, and that's ball 4. So the runners advance, and now with the bases loaded and 2 outs, the player you'd want to have at bat is this situation. Senior catcher Ty Hooks, the batter, and let's see if Abed's going to give him a pitch to hit and possibly get Palmetto back in this contest. And he throws a sidearm fastball, missing the mark. 1 ball and no strikes to Ty Hooks. The wind picking up once again. Ty Hooks more than up to the challenge, though, in this situation. The pitch, a fastball. Ty fouls it off towards the 17th Street area. 1 ball and 1 strike. The count on Ty Hooks. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, bases loaded with 2 outs. A little bit of drama. And the pitch. And another ball fouled off into the backstop. Abed, a pitcher with a very lively arm. He's got that sidearm motion. You don't see that a lot in the high school level. A challenge for any hitter to pick up the ball when it's delivered in that fashion. The pitch, and that's going to be just outside. Ooh, very close. That's a ball that's been called strike all evening long. So Ty Hooks with the break, running the count to 2-2. And the pitch, a fastball. And Ty Hooks once again staying alive and sending the ball into the 17th Street area. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ty Hooks. 2 outs in the 7th inning. The score 9-2 in favor of Barron Collier. Can Ty Hooks get a pitch to hit? 2-2. The pitch, a fastball, a curveball, and he fouls it off again. It's hard to pick up whether it's going to be a fastball or a curveball with that movement. Abed showing a lot of versatility with his sidearm motion. Ty Hooks not phased. 2-2 is the count. And the pitch, and that's going to be a called strike 3 on the inside of the plate. So that will do it for this contest. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, the season finale at home for the Palmetto Tigers ends in a 9-2 contest in favor of the visiting Barron Collier Cougars. I hope everyone enjoyed the telecast, and we will be announcing what the next broadcast will be for Tiger Vision Baseball. But nevertheless, we're very happy to bring this broadcast to you on Tiger Vision, the #1 webcast in the world. So long, everybody, from Van Zerk Stadium.